Hello and welcome to DigitalSynn Gaming. I am Santosis and this is episode 8 of Stoneblock 3. I'm pretty sure it's that one. Yep, looks like it. We've upgraded our furnace. It's now Emerald tier and it cooks stuff. So I'm just going to chuck another 64 in there to... it's not that great, but it's better than we had. But there are some upgrades or augments that we could actually put on there, which I will find at some point. I can't be bothered right now. I have the pieces to make a grid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We've got the rest of the pieces over here because I forgot to take them out because I'm stupid. Right, let's have a look. What else we got in here? We'll take the iron. That's all create stuff. So is all that. That isn't. So we'll have that. And that should be, well, we'll take that one as well because that's not create. Right, so I upgraded the chest to a diamond because it was annoying me, and I upgraded the emerald, like to the emerald furnace, which is pretty straightforward. I mean, iron furnaces has a upgrade path which you can make, so that's kind of cool. I also went ahead and did 64 of each of the processors, and I've got some of them here. Got some more nether silicon and all that kind of good stuff. We are going to do the tour in a second, but what I am going to do right now is get this grid and then get the crafting one on top. So, pretty straightforward. Construction, destruction cores are nether, as I said last time, and glowstone. And then you make those two, and then you add it to the two gold ones, you get the grid, and then you get the grid, and you add an advanced, and you add a crafting table, and you get a crafting grid. Now, the crafting grid obviously does not work on its own. I mean, it's cool, but it doesn't work on its own. So it has to be paired with something, and that is the grid. There we go. It's all blue. It's all happy. We're all good. So we can change the size to make it all huge and things. We've got upgrade things over here, which I don't know. I think it's do something. That we've got upgrade paths, so we can put some bits and pieces in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we can put in there, but we won't get into that now because it is rather, well, it's in depth. But we'll go through it as we go through. We've got normal display, no craftables, only craftables, because obviously this doubles up as a crafting thing. We've got sort descending, however you want, sort by quantity. We've got search box mode, which is JI synchronized, which means that if I type in here, it types in there, which is kind of nice because then I can obviously hit the recipe and it will then plonk it into the crafting grid, which is kind of cool. So we have 3 1K storage parts. We've got one 1K storage part in here. So this is the beauty of this system. So if we throw all of these in, right, now you can see that we've got 472 items, which is roughly about right. If we go over to here, we got nothing left in that one, so we'll go into this chest and we will grab out these, and we'll grab out the glass because, yeah, we're going to need that, and some more iron and some more glass, and we're going to quickly run out of storage. But that's what I want to show you because it's rather simple to do. It's not the most difficult thing in the world to run out of storage straight away, which is why we need the bigger storage like sections, right? So we'll get some of that because we need some wood and I don't know what else we need, but we are literally going to run out of storage pretty quick. And as you can see, yep, there we go. So now we've run out of storage, we can't put anything in, and anything that we do put in then gets, yeah, lost in translation. So once we can take stuff out, that's not a problem, but we can't put any more stuff in, which is, it's not the end of the world, because then you just craft more storage and you're all good to go. But it is the end of the world if you can't get anything in the storage and you're waiting on that so that you can craft. So always try and keep as much storage as possible. And keep yourself a nice little buffer so that you never run into this problem, which is what I do. I craft the biggest storage disks that I can. I automate these very early on so that they can be used. As you can see, we've got nothing in the middle. So what have we got missing? We've got redstone missing, which We've got a ton of redstone, so I don't know why. So this is going to... Obviously, we can't put stuff in the system. We can only put 8 in there because we've got 8 items here. So that it's now made space for 8 things. What we are going to do, though, is just shove that in there. And then we're going to just get a whole bunch. I don't know whether it works. So we're going to run out of silicon fairly quickly. So let's be smart about this. Now, what I normally do, or what I like to do, is put down however many we've got. So we've got 3. So that will give us one of the next tiers up, right? So if we go back to refined and we have a look at the 1K, we've got this basic recipe. Perfect. We have a look at the 4K. It's 3 of the 1Ks plus some other stuff, right? And if we have a look at the 16K, you've got 3 of the 4Ks. And then if you have a look at the 64K, you've got 3 of the 16Ks. So this would give us 1, including these 3 here, actually. So this would give us 1 4K. And this would give us 1 16K. This would give us... I don't know how many... So we would have 3 of these. 3 1Ks give us 1 4K. Right? This, like I said, this gets confusing. So you've got 3 4Ks. So we've got 6 4Ks. 1Ks, and that would give us 2. No, it wouldn't. It would give us 6 because we've got 3 in a row. So that would give us 6 4Ks. Right? So what we need is a couple more. 8, 9. We need 1 more. And what are we out of? We're out of glass. Okay, glass is doable. We can go get some more glass. That's over. We can cook it. That's cool. We can cook the glass. It's really funny that we're running out of like really simple stuff, but we've got, 1.3 thousand diamonds. That's a pain. Right, let's get some of this sand. We need to look at that storage, because I mean that's just insane. So we need to get that fixed. We're getting sort of backed up on things, and it's not helping at all. So we need a bit more glass. So there's the glass, right? So we're going to leave that running. In fact, actually what we're going to do is, pick the glass that I've already smelted over there. Perfect. So we're going to go back here, and what we want to do is we want to get these 9, right? Each. Because that will then allow silicon, really. Let's get a couple of stacks of that. And what we can do is go round here. And this is not being used, so we'll shove that in there. And we'll total all those up. Perfect. Right, so that should go out there. That should cook silicon. And then we should get silicon over here somewhere on the wall. Possibly not. Let's possibly go to here and have a look where the silicon is. No, the silicon didn't go in the wall. So I obviously haven't got a thing for that, but we can just wait until these 2 stacks of 16 cook. This last stack, that will be fine. Perfect. Okay, so we now got 2 stacks, which we can go and shove in the ME system. Now, we've got 1 storage part plus that, and look at, we're losing 5 FE a tick, well within acceptable norms, so we're good. Right, so we've created 9 of these. So now what we're going to do is we can't put anything else in the system because we don't have enough room. This is what I was saying about don't have enough room is not a good thing. And at refined again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the 1, the 4, the 16, and the 64 to the list. So what we're going to do is make some 64s. So what we can do is hopefully stack them on here, which is cool. And then we can just pick them up as we go. So that should give us 9, which we clear that. So we've got our 4K. So now we should be able to get our 16K. And if we do this, if we've done this correctly, we will get one. Right, so yeah, we should be able to get 164K. Okay. Perfect. Right, now we've got a 64K. Now we just need to give it an enclosure, a storage housing, which is one of these, and then put the 64K in the middle. Now we've got a 64K storage housing, and we just dump that in here. Now we can have 65,000 items, and let's have a look at the usage. Power usage is up to 6 FE. Now, if I dump everything in here, which I'm going to take some sand out because obviously I need to make sure that we've got enough sand. And we're going to put the thing back in there, and I want my bread back. But if we go over to here, we will be able to dump another load of sand in there. We've got quite a bit in here. Right, so now here comes the fun part, is all the stuff that I can craft with, and now, including my bread again, stupid, go in the system. So I can start clearing chests. Now, obviously, keep an eye on this, because it will start to tell you that this one's full, this one's not. So you can keep an eye on the amount of storage you've got left, and make sure that you make more. Simple. It's once you get into this, it's kind of cool, actually. I can't lie, it is rather good. Right, so we've got that, and then we'll go over to here and we'll just clear some more. My aim is to get these chests into here. I don't mind the stuff on the wall so much, because we can automate the input of all of that and then make that wall disappear. But I would like to at least get these chests cleared, and see how many items we've actually got. I think we'll be up to a few thousand now. Yeah, 3.9 thousand. So what we can do is keep going, and that's cool. Right, so let's get the glass out of there. We'll get some of the stuff out of here. We're not going to get everything out. Well, we'll get everything out of this one, maybe. I think for the moment, we will leave it at that. Okay, so everything is ordered by quantity because that's the way I like it. And now we can start crafting in here. So, what do we need? Well, we need more storage parts. So we need 9, 9, and 9. So 9, 18, 27 of these. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to run out of resources before we get to 27, I think. No, we made it to 27. Okay, so now we can put them back in there because we've got plenty of space. Now the 4K storage, we can do... what's the 1K? Oh, hang on, 1K, 4K storage. We can do this and just do 8. Where's our last one? Okay, so our last one requires even more of that. So let's go and shove this in the chest so that that can come out and smelt up quite nicely. This is a lot quicker than using the iron, the emerald furnace. So that's the reason why I'm doing this. Plus it does 16 at a time. And, you know, usually within, what, 25 seconds, 30 seconds, it's all good. So, one more. Okay, let's get that sorted. We'll go around here. We will grab... where am I going? I'm going this way. That's what I'm doing. We'll do that, and then we will hit the 4K again, because we want another 4... Really? I put them in there. I did. I put them in... Oh, hang on. I'm out of... What am I out of for the 4K? Oh, I'm out of basic processors. Okay, so that makes a bit more sense. So basic processors are... Let's hit the 4K again, and then we'll be able to grab the basic processor. So here's the basic processor. So it's iron, and then put it through that process. Now, how many do we need? We need 4. So I am literally just going to make 4. No, I'm not. I'm going to make 8. I lied. I'm going to make 8. So if I dump those on there and then come back in a second, what we can do is we can check to see whether we can make the 16s. Do we have enough improved processors? I think we do. And I think we have enough advanced. So if we wait for these 8 to finish, which I love this process, it's so cool. Can we speed you up? We can. Wait. I don't know how to put this back in you. There you go. Okay, we can't speed you up that much because it won't print it. Oh, okay. Well, that's a bit rubbish, but you know, it is what it is. Those ones are going now. Yeah, you can't speed it up because it can't put the thing in. Right, okay. Alright, well that's annoying. Right, let's put those back on there, put that one on there. Because I think these ones are done, right? Yeah, there we go. So we should have 3 of those. We only need 4. But by the time we've done this one, the other one should be complete. And we should be all good. Right, so you're good. You're now good. And we'll put you in there, which will give us our last ones. So what I'm going to do with you, I'm going to run over here and get you cooking while the others are stamping. And all done. Perfect. Let's go get you cooking. In there like that. How many left? 2. Take that. Take that, take that. Perfect. Okay, let's go back into the system. Right, so we want the 4K. So we want one of those, one more of those. Perfect. Now we can shove everything back in here. And then we want the 16K. We want 3 of those. And then we want the 64K. And we want 1 of those. Right, okay. So now we can shove... Oh, no, we can't shove that in there yet because we need 64K. We need a storage housing, which is this one plus the middle. And we are good. Alright, so if we whack that in there, now we've got 130,000 items that we can have, which means that we can come in here, do a bit of shopping of the essentials. Some of that, some lapis, and then we can just shove the basics in there. And then we can come this side and get some copper and a bit of iron. 1 of those, 1 of those, 2 of those, some emeralds. What else do we want? We want a couple of them. Stack of sand. Do we want that? And some bone meal? Yeah, why not? And then that way we got some stuff in the system that we can craft with and knock around with. So that's cool. Alright. Right, so we've got that going okay. We've got a couple of those actually. There we go. Now we're done. Right. So now we've got the 64K, we've got the... Yeah. So, what are we going to do? I think I'd like to maybe get an importer. An exporter definitely for this thing. Because we're going to have to keep our power up. So what power usage? We're on 7 FE a tick, which is really small. This generates 80, so it will keep us going for quite a while. And we've got 6,500. So I think possibly it would be good to maybe just get a bunch of this. A few more. There we go. Shove it in the ME system and create a whole bunch of coal blocks like so, because we'll automate this at some point in the near future, but right now we don't really need to. So what I am going to do is with the storage, we're going to leave the storage for the moment. We need something called a pattern. We need a crafter eventually, but we're not going to need that right this second. And we also need the sector. But right now, we need an import and an export. And we're going to use the exporter first. So we need an improved and a construction core. So a construction core is one with glowstone. We'll put that back in. Actually, we'll get a couple. And probably not the best idea, but because I think we're already out again. But never mind. We're going to use the gold one anyway. So 1 cable, 1 gold, 1 construction gives us 1 exporter. So we're going to take a couple of those. Now, construction cores are used in importers. So there's an external storage bus, which would be quite good actually. Destruction, construction. So the destruction core is one of those. But unfortunately, for me, I used the last of the basics. I need some iron. I'm just going to go and get one for now. Purely and simply because I would really like to get that one, because it means that we'll be able to import a whole bunch of stuff, but not actually import it, which is kind of cool. So the core there is just really quite cool. So there we go. There's our one. Good. Right. So now we can do. Where are we? We go back to an external. There we go. So we got the external storage. So we need the destruction core, which is one of those, and then we can make this thing, which would be good. Let's put the iron back in the system, and let's go get our cables, which should be. Oh, actually, I think I put them in the system. Let's have a look for the cables. There we go. There's the cables. Perfect. So what we should be able to do now is we should be able to export to this and fill that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of that so that we can see that that is working. We're going to need one of those because we need to tell the system what we're going to be exporting. So if I dump an exporter down there, you can see that it's now connected. And then when we right click on here, we can actually put that in there, or we can click the block and put it in there as well. Now these upgrades here are for stack upgrades and speed upgrades. So obviously speed upgrades increases the speed, and stack creates a stack. You can do exact mode or on or off. You could do item types or fluids. So this will do both, and then you can control it via a redstone. Now if we go and have a look in here, if I take all of these out, because we have items in the system, it fills it up one by one quite happily. So that is pretty cool. So that will now keep this going for as long as we have a block of coal, and then obviously we'll automate making the blocks of coal a little bit later. Now what we can do here is obviously the storage controller controls all of these items, so all of this storage. Now putting all this in the storage would require a lot more storage than we actually have. But what we can do is we can use this external storage bus, and we can place it down on the external storage. Now we can set the priority, so anything coming into the system will go into this storage first, which is kind of cool. Or we can set, this as the priority. And now I'm going to set this as the priority. Right, because I want it to go in here first, really. Yeah. Anything that is in our system, not in this part of the system because we've still got 7,000 in, but anytime I take something out, we got 64, 182 in there. I want it to be, so I'm going to take all of these diamonds out, and we've got 1.2 thousand, so 1.2k in there, 1,200 and something. We've probably got and something. So if we right click on the little bit there, yeah, so we've got 1.2, right? Now, if I join this to the network, you can see we've got no diamonds in this system. If I join this to the network, like so, we now have all of the items that we have access to in the storage. And as you can see, 1.2 thousand diamonds. Now, if you watch this in the back, so if I angle the camera the other way around, you should see that there's our 1.2. If I start putting them in, you can see that going up because actually it's not stored in our system. So if I break this, because I've set the priority is to go into that storage first. Now, if that storage fills up, then it will start storing things in the cards. So really nifty way when you first get going is to actually keep your storage drawers so that they're essentially an overflow, and that's where most of your storage is. And then that way you can limit the amount of information or the amount of items stored on the cards. So it gets you a little bit closer to doing that. Now, the really cool feature is that we can take out redstone, tiny piles of redstone, or blocks of redstone, because these are in compacting drawers. So now we don't even have to craft it. We can just go, right, I want a block of redstone, and I've got 64 blocks of redstone. If I put it back in, you can see the other ones, 5.4, 2. But they all change. If I take out a bunch of nuggets, that's great. If I take out this, then a bunch of nuggets disappears. Really, really, really useful. It's like, it saves you quite a little bit. So now we can either add to our storage drawers, or we can add cards to increase storage and capacity. So with obviously the ones here, so for instance, we've got the diamond storage. Now we can put 2 more in here, so we can increase it again, but we can store 111,000 blocks or 995,000 items. And in here, we can only store 129,000 items. So it makes sense that when you've got lots and lots of items, like in this case, lapis, you store them in a storage drawer with a couple of upgrades on them, and then yeah, really cool. Now, obviously, you've got this mishmash of stuff which I haven't touched on yet. So what I'm doing here is, if you have a look behind this, you will see that actually I'm using so the copper nuggets, not nuggets, sorry, the what do you call it? The copper, the iron, the gold, all of those items are actually like getting extracted. Sorry, let me start again. So they're getting extracted along here, along this one. So we'll follow this one here, and then it goes down and into this one here, right? So we're taking the silver, the gold, the raw zinc, the raw copper, and the nether, and or some of it, and we're putting it in here. And then it's going along this belt, which has got lava, so it's smelting it and then putting it in as ingots. So this way, we're smelting immediately. Not even waiting, we're just taking it out and smelting, because it's just a lot easier to deal with then. What we're doing with the magma blocks is we're taking the magma block out, and we're doing pretty much the same process. And it's following down over to here. But with a magma block, it washes it to create that. And we seem to have a blockage. Oh no, cinnabar ore. So we're looking here that we should be getting cinnabar ore in here. We've got 2069, so it's not being added to this part of the system, which is fine. I'm not really that worried about. Oh, there we are. We are actually getting. You can see that this entire system can do 2.1 million, and we've only got a little bit in there. Now, this bit here is 7985, so we could reroute the cinnabar into that. But what I might do instead is actually do another upgrade. So if we go to functional, now this is where having the compacting drawers comes in. We would have to build those blocks of copper. All I have to do now is just click it and it will put it in. So again, like, so simple to do. So if we do 2 chests, in fact, actually we do 2 more chests, and then we need a drawer. So if we do one of them, and then, yep, there we go. So we've got a couple of drawers, and then take the copper, put that in there, obviously upgrade to gold. What are we missing? Gold, we're missing chests again. Okay, so we'll just do a few more chests. So we're going to upgrade to gold tier, and then we're going to go to the diamond tier. What have we got? Diamond blocks. Okay, so here's where it, we're going to get caught out, because actually the diamonds are not in a compacting drawer. So I have to make those. Like so. Just get a couple of those, because we got, 1.4 million, or 1,400 diamonds. It's not really a massive hit. Now, the cinnabar is obviously, so you can see that it's stacking up here. And because this is linked to this drawer and not to the actual system going in, it's not going to prioritize it. So what we'll do is we'll just shove a card in there. Now that will increase, or it should do at some point. It should disappear out of here. There we go. So it should disappear out of here. and it should increase that storage there, as we can see. Perfect. So now 2.1 million storage becomes, actually it's 2 billion storage. So there's a B, it's not even millions, it's 2.1 billion. Nice. Okay, so that would take a lot of cards. Anyway, we're good with that, so that's cool. Let's check the other ones to make sure that everything has got a home. And it does, because there's nothing there that is outstanding. We need to speed up all this process, but as you can see, I mean, it's chugging along quite happily. It does get backed up from time to time. It's just really, you know, I need to speed this up really, and maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. It just needs to be sped up, I think, because if I speed it up, then the fans should speed up, so the washing process should speed up, but everything is running off of, or should I say this one is running off of the ones over here underneath. So underneath here is obviously the ones that this side is running from. I'd like to get this a little bit quicker, but we will get around to doing that. Right, so we've covered external storage. We've covered what I'm doing with the exporters. We've covered obviously getting the bits and pieces that we need from refine and storage, and we've covered importers and exporters. So importers work. In fact, we didn't cover the importers, I'm afraid. So let me go and do that now. So importers are very, very cool. Exactly the same as an export, only the other way round. So it works exactly the same way. You can use imports to do fluids or items. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and get an importer now. Because what I would like is a chest that I can import. So we don't have any of those, so I need to go and grab some. But yeah, what I would like to have, we'll put those on there and those on there. What I would like to have is a thing where I could basically dump anything that I've got into a chest and it goes straight into the system without actually doing the system. And also, if we can get a mine or a quarry going somewhere, I don't even know if there is there a mining dimension? Probably not in here, I would have thought. I would like to be able to set up the mob farm down the end and have the mob loot obviously imported directly into the system. There's a couple of other things that we would use chests for, like ender chests, to allow that process to happen quickly and efficiently, rather than have tons and tons of pipes that basically just push it all over the place. So that would be quite cool. So let's do an import. So for an import, we need a destruction core. And for that importer, we just need one of those. So what we can do now is, I'm not going to take that chest, but I am going to take this one. With all the stuff in it, which I forgot about. So, yep, that's good. So we're going to chuck all of this into the system. And then we're going to decide that, oh, sugar, I should have kept the chest. So we'll take the chest back out. So what we're going to do now is, we're not going to put it on there. We're going to put it here. Because I just kind of think that's fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put an importer on the back of it. Now, if I right-click the importer, it's exactly the same. We've got a black list or a white list, so we can import certain things or only, you know, import everything except for things. Then we've got an exact mode or a not, and then we've got an items or fluids. So we can import fluids into this. Now, that's the difference between the cards as well, is you've got storage disks and you've got fluid storage. You can actually store water and lava and, you know, any other type of fluid in the system as well, which is very cool. If you right click on it in the system, you can make a bucket, get it out with a bucket. So very cool. So the iron chest has nothing in it. And then we've got some, you know, obviously we can come over to here, and what I'm going to do is just grab a whole bunch of stuff and then go over to the chest and, you know, just boom, done. We'll get those. And as you can see, it's going pretty slow. So the issue that we've got is that by default, the importer only works one at a time. And don't get me wrong, one per tick is still a good amount of time, a good amount of things over time. But what we want is a speed and a stack upgrade. So remember I told you that you could get those upgrades for the importers and exporters? Well, the speed and stack upgrades are here. So we need a blank upgrade, which is a improved processor plus some quartz plus some of that. So I'm going to get 3 speed upgrades, and we're going to get a whole bunch. Actually, we're going to get a whole bunch of blank ones, and then we're going to create some more iron or quartz iron, like so, because I probably will need a few more. But what we're going to do is now look for the stack upgrade, because the speed upgrade is, I think the stack upgrade is uses the speed upgrade. Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to create 4 of these plus 3 for the other ones, for the ones that we want. So if I put those in there, so we want 3, and then we want 4 to obviously make one of the stack upgrades. So with the stack upgrade, we just hit the button, and we've got 1 stack upgrade, and we've got 3 speed upgrades. Now each importer, and the reason why I do that is because each of these, there's 4 in the import and the export. Now if I throw a stack on there, you see it's counting down, if I throw the stack upgrade in there, it'll do 1 stack per tick, right? Which is great. But if I throw these 3 in there, it's all gone already. And you'll see when I go and do the next batch, so we can go and just grab a whole whatever we want, and then over here we can just go boom, and you'll see that this actually does do quite well at keeping that chest clear. Now that means that if we put an ender chest there, we could have multiple sources all feeding that one ender chest, and that ender chest would remain relatively empty. I mean, it depends on how much stuff you're actually putting into the system at any one time, but I mean, you've got to be putting some stuff into the system like pretty heavily if you're gonna sort of beat that import speed, or you know, back that up. So yeah, so that's what I usually do. And then this is where it comes in really cool. So each one of those, so if we've got if we do get to the point where actually it's too much, there's too many items getting put into the thing, and the importer cannot keep up, we could just put one on this side as well and double that, and then put one on the top, and one on this side, and one on this side, and one on that, one on the bottom. We've got 6 we can have in total. Now you saw the speed of 1, so imagine the speed of 6. Very, very cool. I mean, it sounds, yeah, it sounds ludicrous, the amount of like speed that would give you, but there have been some playthroughs that I have even needed to do a couple more ender chests and split them out because there was just too much stuff going in the system. Hopefully we will get to that point in this one, but for now we're good. Right, so we've got empty chests there, we've got empty chests here, so what I do need is an axe, because why not? No, because I need an axe. Because they're chests, and it requires an axe. Let's use a bronze one, I take it. So we'll just... Nope, that's rubbish. We're going to create one. So we are going to create an axe. And we're going to do a diamond one, because, you know, they're cool. There we go, perfect. Right, so let's get rid of some of these chests. And even this one's pretty slow. So yeah, what we can also get rid of is these, which is kind of cool. So this one I'm going to keep because it's linked to the furnace, but I'll probably move the furnace anyway. So here we go. We'll shrink this one down because I've got plans for those. This one is stone, so we'll get rid of those. We're going to leave that one there as well because there are some of the things that are going to come out of here that I'm going to want to keep. Right, this thing requires power. This thing doesn't require power, but it does require other stuff. This is good. I like this. This would be... Right, so what I could do is put another chest, possibly in the back. I think what I will do actually is put a chest in the back. I didn't mean to do that. So let's get this chest back up. So I'm going to put a chest in the back like so. I'm going to go and grab the other few items there. And I'm going to shove that in there. Perfect. Okay, so that gives us this. And then what I'm going to tell this one to do is actually pull from the back. So input from the back and export to the left. And let's have a look at the upgrades. So, because there are iron furnace upgrades that we can deploy, or according to this there is. So this one is fuel heats up the furnace twice as much. 25 slows down the cooking time. Speed uses up twice the amount of fuel but halves the cooking time. It speeds it up. Augment generator. Heat from the furnace will generate power, but it can't smelt anything. Uses power for heat instead of fuel. Right click to insert. So converts the furnace into a factory. Uses power for heat instead of fuel. Oh, okay, so it uses power. Right, okay, that's quite cool. Only allows for smoking recipes and only allows for blasting recipes. Wireless heat receiver. Really? There's a wireless heat receiver? That's kind of cool. That's the settings linker and stuff. Alright, so we can't really get into much of that right now. Wireless heat transmitter. Provide the block with forge energy and it will power all wireless. Okay. That's kind of cool. Crystal furnace. Right, so we've got this one. But if we want this one, the obsidian furnace. I mean, speeding it up would be good. An obsidian furnace would be very cool, but we can't get one of those right now, so that's fine. But what we can do is possibly get the speed. Yeah, we can get a speed upgrade. So let's go over here. We've got paper and stuff. So, bit of a pain. Let's go iron furnace. And then what we want is we want the speed upgrade. So we're just going to get one. I don't think we need to go crazy. I am, however, thinking about moving that. Because if we put that there, we can compact it maybe. We could put an importer on there, which would... Actually, we could put an import... we could put it there, and then it would export to there, pull from... Yeah, that would be alright. That would be cool, actually. So let's do something like this, right? So we're going to grab this, and we're going to put it here, right? So... Oh, it kept it all. Cool. Right. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull the fuel from the bottom. We are going to export the output to the right. And on the back, we're going to do the input. Right? So we've got an exporter we can put here, which we can just hook up. We don't need to do anything with that at the moment. We do need another export, although I should have used that one maybe. So let's have a look at exporter. Just need one. Oh, we've got a couple, so that's cool. Right, so now what we can do is... if we put that down here, and then we need a wrench. Wonder if that one or that one or that one works. Does this one work? No. Does this one... Oh, hang on. Does that work? No. That one? No. This one? No. Okay, so none of those wrenches work. Which means we're probably going to have a specific one, which is the... Does refined have a wrench? More than likely. Yeah, it does. Right, so we need a refined wrench. So I'm guessing that that's going to need, from what I saw just then, that's going to need one of these. So let's shove those in there and go cook this one, which is cool. So we'll cook that. Right, so that should cook and then export to the chest, which instantly gets imported. So wrench, where is it? There it is. So we'll grab that wrench. That should now... No, it didn't import? It did import. Why are you lying to me? It did import. Maybe it didn't. Oh, because I didn't turn auto export and auto import on. Now we should find it down the bottom somewhere. There we go. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got our wrench now, so we can now turn these. Perfect. Okay, so in the exporter, what I am going to do is going to steal one of these. In fact, actually, I'm going to steal all of these, just prove that it works. I'm going to put one of those in there, so shift and right click in there, and I'm going to import those into the system, and then you can see them now being exported out of the system. While we're here, I'm going to shove the there we go. So now that should speed that up. So if I shove that in there, there we go. That's now at 20 speed, which is good. This is going to struggle to keep up, so I'm going to need some speed upgrades and maybe even a stack upgrade. But we will get that sorted very, very quickly. So there's the speed. So we need one. Well, you know what? A speed upgrade, just a single one for now until I can get some of the other bits done, will be good. There we go. So if we go into here now and hit this, we should be able to just knock out a bunch of mini coal. And then that should... Yeah, there we go. That's a bit quicker. We're going to need to automate quite a lot of this stuff. Obviously, getting some sugar and that kind of bits. And I do want to get the speed upgrades. So we need... What do we need? We need 1, 2 for that, and then 4 for a stack upgrade. Actually, we could just do the stack upgrade if I took the speed upgrade out, and then that would be better suited. So let's get a stack upgrade. Oh, right, we're on page 2. So stack upgrade is here. Let's get one of those. That would be better because that would just dump a stack. So if we took the stack out, it would just replenish the stack. So that's fine. So that's cool. We're all good there. Let's chuck some of this away. We are not going to chuck that away. We're going to put that in there. Now what we need to do is move this lot. So that one was cool. So we'll get rid of this. Now we don't need this here. And obviously we're going to get a whole bunch of mini coal, and we're going to get that out. And then this, we're just going to take as much as we possibly can, because we're going to export that directly into here. So this could be our first auto smelting. Whatever is in the system, just get rid of into here, and that'll be cool. All right, so we've got that. We've got mini coal. We've got some other bits and pieces. That should keep us a nice little stock of stuff. Let's go get this, and then what we will do is take this chest as well. We'll get rid of that. Now we're good there. Right, so this thing over here, we can throw some importers on, and we can run the imports under the thing, under the floor, I think. But I think we're going to wait that for the next episode. So that's all sorted. That's all importing. We're all happy right now. And there we go. So we've still got our basics, which are doing these things. However, we've moved everything now into the ME system. We've got our auto smelting going for, well, not smelting, but we've got our furnace, which we can decide what we want to put on there. So whatever goes into here, kelp-wise, because I'm pretty sure that kelp is used in just a couple. So there's that. Respiration and stuff, modifiers, yeah. It's pretty much, unless it's food, very rarely do you use it for anything else. So yeah, I'm quite happy to smelt all that stuff. And obviously when that gets down, that will, you know, what we can do is actually take a whole bunch of it and put it into this thing over here. But what we will do first is, what I normally do is take off. So we're going to put that back down to star. We're going to take that away. We're going to put one of these in, which stops it from going straight through. And then we can throw that in, and it will do stacks of 16 at a time. There we go. So at the moment, while we're just reducing our stack down, we're good. We can do that. So what we could do is actually do this so that that would then not need to be melted. So we can take that out. That's cool. And then throw that in here, and that will actually sort itself out pretty quickly. What we could do actually is take these. Wow. Okay, so those ones are there. Is that right? 28, 27. Oh, it's run out. Oh, okay. So we need to make sure that that gets kept up as well. So if we get a stack of these, we can throw that in the middle. And then that should start doing... Yeah, there we go. Right, so that's now doing its process again. This thing, though, what we could do is... Are they raw? Yeah, they're raw. So what we could do is actually put these in the back. So that any time we throw some in the system, they'll just immediately go over here and get smelted up. Because they're no good to us in that state. So that would be cool. Alright, anyway. That is the end of the episode. I know, again, it's a little bit longer, but... we're dealing with some pretty complicated setups sometimes. So, I appreciate it if you stayed till the end. If you did, well done. I mean, I would have, but then I enjoy doing this. But thank you very much. I am literally going to go to the next episode and do... I'm not sure. So we're gonna work out what we're gonna do next episode. I think what we might do is start with the auto farming, or maybe even try and get to ender pearls or something like that. I don't know. I'll have a think between now and then. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you would like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. You don't have to. So don't worry your little head. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing this, so I don't really care. It would be nice to grow the channel, though. Again. You know, whatever. It always makes me uncomfortable asking you to like and subscribe. I don't know why, because it's part of YouTube. But yeah, anyway, that's weird. I've been Syntosis. You've been awesome. Laters.